Imagine a world where giant sloths, twice the size of a polar bear, roam the Americas. Picture mammoths with tusks so long they curve back on themselves, and fearsome saber-toothed cats with fangs like daggers. This isn't a fantasy movie. This was our planet just a few thousand years ago. And in this world of giants, a new predator was emerging: us. For most of human history, we were not at the top of the food chain. We were scavengers, opportunists, living in the shadow of colossal beasts. But something changed. We developed tools, we mastered fire, and most importantly, we learned to cooperate. This combination turned a relatively weak, slow primate into the most formidable hunter the world had ever seen. This is the story of when humans first ruled the wild. Let's travel back to the late Pleistocene, around 50,000 years ago. Earth was in the grip of an ice age. Massive glaciers covered much of the northern hemisphere, and the landscape was a challenging mix of tundra, steppe, and forest. This was the world of megafauna, the giant animals of the era. In North America, you had the Columbian mammoth, the giant short-faced bear which could look a person in the eye while on all fours, and armored glyptodonts, basically car-sized armadillos. Our ancestors, Homo sapiens, armed with stone-tipped spears and an incredible understanding of their environment, began to systematically hunt these giants. How did they do it? It wasn't about brute force. It was about intelligence and teamwork. Archaeological sites show evidence of sophisticated hunting strategies. For example, hunters would drive herds of mammoths or bison into narrow ravines or off cliffs. This was a high-risk, high-reward strategy. A single mammoth could feed a clan for weeks, providing not just meat, but also hide for shelter, bones for tools and art, and fat for fuel. One of the most iconic weapons of this era was the atlalo, or spear thrower. This simple-looking device was a game-changer. It acted as an extension of the hunter's arm, allowing them to hurl a spear with much greater force and from a safer distance. Suddenly, getting close to a thrashing 10-ton mammoth wasn't quite as suicidal. You could strike from afar, wound the animal, and then track it until it collapsed from exhaustion and blood loss. It was a battle of endurance and intellect. The evidence for this great hunt is etched into the earth. At the Wally's Beach site in Canada, 13,000-year-old footprints of humans were found alongside the tracks of mammoths and camels, a frozen moment of an ancient pursuit. In places like the La Brea tar pits in Los Angeles, we find the bones of saber-toothed cats and dire wolves with injuries that could only have been inflicted by human-made weapons. We weren't just surviving alongside these beasts. We were actively competing with them and winning. But this rise to power came at a cost. As human populations expanded across the globe, a mysterious wave of extinctions followed. In North and South America, around 75% of large mammal species vanished shortly after humans arrived. In Australia, the figure is even higher, close to 90%. Was it us? The debate is known as the overkill hypothesis. While climate change at the end of the Ice Age certainly played a major role, the timing of these extinctions lines up suspiciously well with our arrival. It seems our ancestors were so effective as hunters that they may have hunted these magnificent creatures to oblivion. This story isn't just about the past. It's a profound reflection on our own power. The same ingenuity and cooperation that allowed us to conquer the world of giants are the tools we must now use to protect the wildlife that remains. We became the planet's dominant species by outsmarting nature, and now our greatest challenge is to be smart enough to live in harmony with it. The age of megafauna is over, but the legacy of our first reign over the wild continues to shape the world we live in today. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey back in time fascinating, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about our incredible planet. See you next time.